Welcome into another edition of Southern Miss Sports Today with head coach Joye Lee-McNelis. We're talking about Southern Miss. We're going to start the 83-60 win over UTSA. And as you can see, special guest Emma Grace is back with us. And Joye, we're going to know pretty quick if we're just boring. If Emma Grace goes to sleep again on the show, we're going to know.
You cannot be on the show anymore. Look at Yaya. Quit looking at Josh. Look at Yaya, okay? You've got to be able to see everything that's going on. If you go to sleep, you can't be on here anymore because Josh and I are not boring.
We're not boring, and certainly the second half against UTSA was not boring. Lady Eagles erupted for an 11-0 run to start the second half, outscored UTSA 30-12 in that third quarter, and actually scored 51 points in the second half. But it was, shall I say, a spirited lecture at halftime by you, Coach.
And you know, our players really responded. I mean, it was pretty spirited. I don't know that there was many X's and O's that was talked about in the locker room. It was more to get us refocused and regrouped on what had to be done. And, you know, they really responded. They did. I mean, goodness, it was truly the tale of two halves. That first half, Josh, was pretty ugly. But the second half, we need to build on that and let that be who we are.
You challenged the big three, being Jayla King, Megan Brown, Shantae Hales. They combined for 51 points. That's kind of the floor. That's kind of what you need from them night in and night out to play against the best teams in the league and chase a championship.
You know, it is. And, you know, Megan Brown scored, I think, 13 of her points in the second half and really challenged her at halftime. You know, because, again, throughout that first half, Megan Brown, Jayla King, respectively part, all had players that were mismatched situations with them. And they would not take advantage of it. We would run a play to get them in that position, and they wouldn't take advantage of it. So, again, we really challenged them and challenged Shantae Hales, our point guard, to really make some things happen for us. And, again, in the second half, it was truly about energy. It's how we started that second half and really was able to score the first possession that we had it to be able to jump in our pressure defense and really create a lot of havoc. You know, UTSA, you know, Schidmeyer is very good. Heineman is very good. And then they had some players that came off the bench that hit some shots today for them. And so, again, we felt like that from the start, the way we were supposed to start the game was to be able to keep them off balance with our pressure. And again, we weren't locked in. We out-locked in, and our defense, Josh, created our offense, and that's what got us going.
And then Molly Brown, let's talk about her for a moment. She has a career-high 10 points, knocked down 7 of those 10 in the second quarter where it was back and forth, but the team was really flat. Couldn't get in a rhythm. Neither team could. Molly Brown was huge. She finished with a career-high 9.
She did, and, you know, Molly saved us in that second quarter because we could have gone in at halftime instead of being down 1. We could have been down 10. But Molly Brown hit some big shots for us. She hit one off the bounce. Her feet are set. She was money in the bank. And again, if Molly could truly continue to shoot the ball when her feet are set, if Molly's feet are set, Molly has every shot to knock down. And again, that's what she did. But again, her teammates have to understand where she is, what she's coming off of, where we need to get her the ball so that she can be successful. But Molly Brown truly saved us in that second quarter.
Kennedy Gavin had 6 big rebounds. Jayla King had a career-high 6 steals. But then, as we touched on at the closing of the radio broadcast, the fact that we don't need anybody trying to do more than they're capable. This staff is going to put players in the best position to do their strengths.
You know, Josh, it's truly about roles. You know, some players are better penetrating right. Some players are better penetrating left. Some players are better at shooting the 3 ball. Some are better just, you know, being the energy player. And so everybody, so as a coaching staff, what we do when we run our plays and we set up our sets, they're set for us to take advantage of what our players' strengths are. And we've got to understand that that's what we got to do. And it's kind of like in the first half. We had mismatch after mismatch, and we're trying to get the ball in the hands of players that had mismatch situations, and we didn't play it in an attack mentality. Second half, we did. But again, we've got to learn when there is a mismatch, we must be able to take advantage of it. And, you know, the thing is, just 2 weeks ago or last week, we were pretty good at it. And all of a sudden, I truly believe that how hard we played against Charlotte, you know, we did not execute very well in those overtime situations. I think that truly was a factor that was still kind of glooming over us in that first half, and we just had to make the change and really challenge them at halftime to kind of get over that so that we could play within our roles and accomplish what we need to accomplish. Don't play out of your role. Do what we need you to do, and we can be successful.
Lady Eagles picked up their 12th win of the season overall, moved to 4-3 in Conference USA, and also stayed undefeated all time at home against the Roadrunners of UTSA. We'll take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the big road trip coming up to Houston to take on a very good Rice Owl team, an Owls team that's top 3 in the league. We'll be back right after this. You're watching Southern Miss Sports Today. As Southern Miss Sports Today continues with our very special guest, Emma Grace, and Coach McNelis, the Lady Eagles to the top certainly picked up that big win over UTSA. Now it's on the road to Houston, and it's a Rice team, won the WBI last year. We knew it was steady progress. Anytime you get a postseason run like that, what that does for the confidence of your program. We just see what a weekend road trip or a week road trip did for the Lady Eagles' confidence. It's a confident team, an influx of talent, tremendous coaching. There's no question they're one of the best teams in the league.
You know, they are, Josh, and they're very good, and they play very well together. And you had mentioned playing roles. I will tell you, that's what Rice does. Each player really and truly embraces their role. And it gives them every opportunity, Josh, to be able to be successful. They run the Princeton offense. You know, they're going to hit pinch post. Everything is run out of the pinch post. They get a back screen, a ball screen, a flare screen, and every bit of that action. And they're very good. They're great screen setters. Coach Tina Langley's done a great job of really and truly getting them to buy into her system. And they've really excelled. And, you know, winning that WBI was huge for them. And then you add the Gumake sisters, that's a huge add for you. And so, again, they're a very dangerous team in Tudor Fieldhouse. Fortunately, we've had a little success in Tudor Fieldhouse, and hopefully we can take the second half of this game that we just played today against a very, very good UTSA team. Hopefully we can take that on the road. Because, again, Josh, we're not flying. Thank goodness we're busing to Rice. So we'll have time to get a lot of sleep on the bus, and hopefully these Lady Eagles will be ready for that action.
It is. It's Southern Miss and the Rice Owls coming up on Thursday at the Tudor Fieldhouse against 2 of the top 5 teams in Conference USA. We're going to take our final break. When we come back, we'll talk about Marshall coming back to Reed-Green Coliseum, having to get re-rested. It will be what will be a Sunday matchup this coming up weekend, Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock. Make sure you don't show up on Saturday. We need you for Southern Miss and the Marshall Thundering Herd. So we'll come back and talk about that and wrap the show right after this. You're watching Southern Miss Sports Today.
Hey basketball fans, the 2018 Conference USA Basketball Championship presented by Baylor Scott & White Sports Performance Center at the Star is coming to Frisco, Texas. 24 men's and women's basketball teams playing 22 games will take place at Ford Center at the Star, headquarters to the Dallas Cowboys. Join us for 4 days of exciting hoops March 7th through the 10th with CUSA titles and NCAA automatic bids on the line. For tickets and more information, go to conferenceusa.com. You won't want to miss Hoops at the Star this March.
As we wrap this edition of Southern Miss Sports Today with head coach Joye Lee-McNelis and Emma Grace, she's been locked in all show long. We have had the fans really stepping up here over the last few games. Marshall's coming to town on a Sunday, 2 o'clock tip. This has always been a great rivalry game, and between the band and the Southern Misses and Mascot Day and the promotions and the energy in the building, our ladies feed off that. It was certainly one of the things that helped this team surge after bouncing back after that double overtime heartbreaking loss to Charlotte.
You know, it was a great crowd and a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm that was really and truly brought to this team. And that second half, they reeled us through. And, you know, with us playing Marshall on a Sunday, I think it's one of our, well, it is our first Sunday game in Conference USA play. We do have a couple coming up. But I will tell you, we need some folks. Go to church. Come on after church. Grab you some chicken or something and bring it on. And we need you here against the Marshall Thundering Herd here at Reed-Green next Sunday, because I will tell you, the Thundering Herd come rolling in here. You know, they're very good. Again, they're very similar to a UTSA team. They're right on that edge. You know, they play really hard, and you never know. You never know when their players are going to step up and somebody unknown is going to make shots for them. So you've got to always be able to live right there with them and not allow them to take control of the game at all.
You missed a big yawn by Emma Grace there. That means it's about time to wrap up the show. Emma Grace, give us one more minute before we go tonight. We do want to remind fans that a lot of fun to come out on a Monday night, 6 to 7 o'clock. Our fans love the fact that they're informed, that they're a part of it, that they take ownership in the program. And so to come out to Georgia Blue and enjoy that food, enjoy that environment, we want to pack out Georgia Blue again.
Yeah, Monday night, 6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
You know, and we've had our faithful followers. You know, you hear that a lot at church. You know, the faithful followers. We have some faithful followers with the Lady Eagle basketball, and we're so fortunate and so blessed. And we've had a good many come out and join us at Georgia Blue. But I'm going to tell you, the Blue Plate Special, you can't beat it at Georgia Blue. I had the baked chicken, sweet potatoes, carrots. I mean, it's really good. So we need some folks to come on out and join us at Georgia Blue. And I will tell you, you know, if you're a couple, split the Blue Plate. It's big enough. You can get one blue plate and then share it with somebody, and then get you a glass of iced tea, and it'll be good.
And then also get you a little dessert at the end.
That's right, and split that dessert.
There
You're good to go.
It's a lot of fun, and it's your chance to be involved. You can ask questions over email, Twitter, Facebook, and also if you're there in person, sign up the questionnaire card and certainly take part in Southern Miss Eagle basketball. I want to thank Craig Adams for all he does for the program. We also, again, Coach, we appreciate you. Emma Grace,
thanks to the top, baby,
yes,
to the top.
Thanks for staying up with us here throughout the show. Until next time, you've been watching Southern Miss Sports Today.